Hi there. So today we're going to be making pumpkin bread. You're going to need pumpkin puree, salt. I use sea salt. You don't have to use this one. You're going to need baking soda, all-purpose flour, vegetable oil, nutmeg, allspice, and cinnamon. Nuts are optional, but I prefer not to have nuts. Now, during this preparation, you want to make sure you have no jewelry on your fingers anyways. You wash hands really good with hot water, which I did previously to turning this on. I'm probably going to do it again because I touched all this stuff. You want to make sure all your bowls are rinsed out and clean. I have two bowls, one kind of medium, one medium. You have all your little tins ready. I have small and I have medium. Multiple reasons, because I'm going to be going to see my baby brother and want him to have some too. So let's go wash our hands real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I've washed my hands and we're ready to go. Now, this recipe has been in my family for quite some time, and I don't do it all the time, so I'm here without my glasses. So we're gonna do the dry ingredients in one bowl and the wet ingredients in another bowl. I'm using this because I have no other bowls. So let's gather a measuring cup and start with our dry ingredients. I have my measuring cup. So the first ingredient is 1.5 cups of flour. You can add more, but if you add more, you gotta double everything else. I don't think I'm gonna be doing more this video. I might the next one. This is just a teaser. My family normally does it around November and October because that's when pumpkins, normally come out, and this is on sale. So I am doing it a bit early, mainly because I don't know when I'm going to be seeing my baby brother again. So let's measure 1 1/4 cup of flour. Let's see if that's enough. Probably isn't. Almost. A little more. I'm also listening to music if you can't tell. Keeps me occupied, I guess is the word. But I do enjoy my music from time to time. Mainly when I'm cooking or cleaning, I listen to it, especially like this. My favorite band is probably Breaking Benjamin. I like the Ember album. No, I'm not sponsored by them, but I do want to get them out there because it's one of my favorite bands. This band is called Palisades, and this is Better Chemicals, obviously. I discovered them when I was with my current fiance, who proposed to me on my birthday. They came out before the band. Him and I went to go see, kind of like a preview, and I kind of fell for the band, and the band's pretty good. I mean, at least these songs. I know, probably weird. Almost there, guys. You don't want too much flour because then it tastes like flour, and you don't want, less flour. This is why we clean our hands, because we're going to be touching this stuff quite a lot. Okay. So this is about 1/4 cup. You want to put it in one bowl so you know what bowl is dry and what bowl is wet. The reason we separate the wet and dry is because it makes it a lot easier to mix. Once everything's mixed separately in the bowls, then you put it in and make it as a pattern and slowly mix it in a little at a time. That's what I do, and it makes it pretty good. Let's see, what else we need? A half teaspoon of salt. So don't have any actual teaspoons, so this here is a teaspoon, and this is a tablespoon. See the difference? This one's bigger, this one's smaller, so we need one of these. I preferably add a little more than a teaspoon, mainly because it brings out the sweetness in the pumpkin puree in this guy. But I don't add too much, so let's do it over this. So if I spill, it's in this. I always try and be careful. Roughly about, I don't know if you can see that, about that much. That's probably perfect, but just in case, I'm just gonna 2 shakes just to be on the safe side. I probably will be adding more throughout the video. Ooh, I haven't heard this song forever. So then we need 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and I have it right here, ready to go. This you don't want a heaping of. You want a more or less flattened. Let's see how it's flat. Maybe a little more just to be on the safe side, so I just take the end, nothing else, and just throw it in there just to be on the safe side, because that's the stuff that makes it rise. Now we need a cup of sugar. So I have a big old jar of sugar that I'm going to be getting out of. So give me 1 second. It's going to probably be messy, so give me a minute. Okay, so I have a cup of sugar. Normally I do about 1.5 cups to make it a little sweeter than normal, but I'm going to be giving it to my dad and my mother and, not mother-in-law, stepmother, and they're both unfortunately diabetic. So if they're diabetic, you want at least half the sugar, or don't go any more than a cup. Or you use the fake sugar, which tastes terrible, so you want to lessen the sugar if they are diabetic. Now we're going to do the, I'm skipping all the wet stuff, which means puree, oil, eggs, water. We're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, so nutmeg. Let's open you guys. So remember, teaspoon. 1/4 teaspoon is not a lot, so I normally go for a little more because I love the taste of nutmeg and I love the taste of cinnamon and allspice in my pumpkin bread. That is probably my secret right there. So that's a little more than 1/4. Boom, put it right in there. Get a little more in there. I love nutmeg, it smells so good. So I didn't add too much, I just went tapped it a couple times, which is probably a couple, like 4 sprinkles if you want to just go up. Now we're gonna do cinnamon. Now you don't have to do, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, like that order, as long as you, do the right measurements. I've been baking this for quite some time, so I know how much to put in and where to stop, because I've experimented with it quite some time, obviously. So a little more. See how I'm tapping it? Little bits are coming out at a time. Roughly about the same amount as the nutmeg. Maybe a little more, so we might have to add nutmeg a little more later. And then the allspice. Now all these spices you can find at any grocery store like CVS, or not CVS, Ralph's, Albertsons, Food for Less. Food for Less has them. That's not working for me. Now this takes time, unfortunately, and I know it's probably boring just watching me put spices on a spoon. But in the end result, it is really good, and everyone's gonna be wanting more, especially for the holidays that's coming up, like Halloween. Love Halloween, Thanksgiving, which is good because you get to spend time with your family and friends, and Christmas. I know it's not until December 25th, excuse me, but you know, you have it. So once everything is in there, you're gonna want to take a whisk. Of course, you want to wash it before putting it in there, which I'm going to do right now, and just mix it in. So give me 1 second so I can wash this. Okay, so we're washed and dried, so there's no really specific way to mix this. So I just you can also do it with a fork if you want. It is a lot easier with a fork, especially if you're holding it like this and showing a video. But yeah, you can also do it with a fork if you want. You don't have to use a whisk. I just use it because it's there and it's easier. And I took about a year's worth of baking classes. So, and I did not learn this in baking. I learned this through my mom. My mom taught me this. So we're gonna mix it for at least a minute. So give me 1 moment. After you've mixed it for about a minute, you want it to probably be. See if I can get it all the way. Put this in the sink. Let's see if I can get it. So you want it to look like this, kind of like a golden color. You see all the spices in there and it's shiny. It smells of all of the spices, and you want it to smell like the spices. That's how you know you've added the right amount of spices, because otherwise it's going to smell like flour and sugar. And I really don't know if you want it to smell like mainly flour and sugar. So we're going to keep the main spices out, the allspice, the ground nutmeg, and the ground cinnamon. You want to make sure these are ground. And then start putting everything else away so it makes it a lot easier. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I've put everything that I really don't need away. I kept out also the salt in case I wanted to add just a pinch of salt, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So we'll see what we have to do. Now we're on to the wet stuff. So the dry stuff is done, so we can probably place that off to the side. Place these guys here. Get our other bowl, make sure it's empty and clean. It is. I did clean it prior to this. 2 eggs. I have the large eggs. You can use medium eggs too, just not the small ones. If you use the small ones, you're probably going to want to do 4 small ones because they're small. So we're going to want to open these up and beat them. They have to be beaten. So there we go. 2. Okay, so I have to go throw these away. Give me 1 second. Not only do you have to throw that away so you don't get all the egg everywhere, you gotta wash your hands again, so give me 1 second. So in the process of getting your eggs, you want to set your oven to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit so that way it can start baking and get hot and ready so you can put your little muffin tins in there full of, you know, the pumpkin bread. So we've done the eggs. We're gonna fork, wash it, give me a second, wash the fork. So you want to sit there and just go in circles and basically beat it, which is what it asks for you to do. Alright, there we go, nicely beaten, kind of like you're making scrambled eggs, but not really scrambled eggs. Put this on my napkin because I know I'm going to be using it again. We'll do everything but the puree last. So let's do the oil, vegetable oil, 1/4. That's not a lot of oil, so you gotta be careful. You can use organic oil. You can use the olive oil. Olive oil is pretty good in it, but I just go for just plain old vegetable oil. It's about a fourth, give or take, which is not a lot, so we just bloop right into the egg. Let's see. I don't know if you hear the vibrating, but somebody's calling me and I don't know that number. Let's see. Vegetable oil, fourth cup of water. So that again is not a lot of water. So we're gonna get some water and put it in there. So give me one second. So I have bottled water. I used bottled water. You don't have to use bottled water. I just happen to have a bottle of water sitting around and I'm drinking out of periodically to keep myself hydrated. So into the bucket that goes. And that's everything. So now it's time for the puree. So it's gonna look weird without the puree. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Looks kind of weird, kind of like a watered down egg. And that's okay, because once you add the puree, it's gonna look better. So the puree, you're only gonna want a cup, and that's not a lot. Pumpkin puree. Do we have? So I have to go to my can opener, which is electric, and it's over there. So and it's gonna be loud. So give me a minute. So I got it open. My oven just beeped, which means it's hot and ready to go. Pumpkin puree, that's what it's gonna look like. There might be some on the lid, so you wanna scrape off as much as you can, because this stuff is not cheap when it's not seasoned. I mean, not October. So a cup. Just put it in here. It's pretty easy. You can make pumpkin puree yourself. I might make it the next video, but I gotta figure out if they're selling pumpkins or not yet. If not, I might have to go to Trader Joe's and get a pumpkin. All you gotta do is just basically cut the pumpkin into pieces, skin and all. Just no seeds. Seeds you gotta put separate. Those are also edible, but you gotta bake them, which is really good, with a little bit of olive oil and sea salt. And then once you put it up, you gotta boil it, so it can be nice and soft in water. Once you boil it, then you can blend it and there's your puree. I don't know how long it takes to soften it. It should take like probably about a half an hour to an hour, maybe, depending on how big of a pumpkin it is. So now I have about a cup of pumpkin puree. I might add a little more. I'm thinking about it. I'm probably going to. So it has that pumpkin taste. I'm probably going to do 1/4 of a cup. Now, if you do only 1/4 of a cup, you don't have to add everything else. Meaning you don't have to add more egg or anything else. Just the spices you have to add, because the pumpkin is very, very strong. Like of a smoke. It is strong, but it's good. If you do a full cup, then you have to add everything else again. So basically, every cup you double it. So I've got the cup now. When you have leftover pumpkin, which I do, I have probably about a half a can still. This is good for at least 3 cups worth, give or take. You want to put it in a little container. You don't want to leave it in the tin because of the aluminum. It will start affecting the pumpkin and make it taste really bad. So give me a moment to put this in a tin can, or not a tin can, a plastic Tupperware. I'll be right back. Now I've put everything away. I've got a little bit of pumpkin on my finger. This cat likes pumpkin. Watch. Don't prove me wrong. You like the pumpkin. Yeah. No? What? She normally eats everything, but I guess not that. That's one of the 2 cats that we have here. We have a white one that's sleeping somewhere. That's my cat. That one that you saw is my brother's cat. He's a good guy. I love my brother. So give me one moment to wash my hands. Okay, all washed up. Still got the cup of pumpkin. I put my pumpkin in the fridge. That's what it wants to, you want to put it after you're done using it. If you guys have gotten it this far, you probably have heard at least a good couple of Breaking Benjamin songs. This one's a Paramore song, Brick by Burning Brick. This is a very good song. I love this song. This is my second favorite band, Paramore. Good band, very good band. I have a t-shirt of theirs. that my fiance gave me. So now you want to mix the pumpkin and with the egg and the oil. Now it's going to be weird and sloshy, and that's okay. So you want to mix it in there real good to get a taste. I'll show you guys what it looks like in just a moment. Now you want to make sure you get all the egg, all the oil in there. It smells like pumpkin. I've gotten it in and get it all over the place. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like once the oil and egg is mixed in. It's a lighter color, not by much though. Now when you add it into the flour, it's going to get even lighter. And once it is lighter, then you know that you've made it correct. So give me a moment to wash everything and I'll be right back. Okay, I've washed everything up. I still have my salt, my cinnamon, my allspice, and my nutmeg out in case once I've mixed it all together, I've got pumpkin all over me. That's the part of it. I'm gonna taste it and make sure it tastes good. So you wanna, in this time, spray everything with olive oil so it doesn't stick. Or you can use the the little, not pumpkin tins, the muffin tins, because I'm making muffins. For the bread, you can put the wax rolls in it, but it kind of is hard to get it off the pumpkin bread, so just spray it with olive oil or a little bit of butter and it will come off real quick. So give me 1 second to do that. Okay, so I've sprayed it. I normally buy the non-stick pans, but I always spray it just to be on the safe side because you never know if it's going to stick or not. So yeah, give me 1 second. Now for the fun part, to mix everything into the dry. Normally we make a little hole, but I don't think I'm going to do that this time, mainly because you really don't have to. I just do it because it just makes it a lot easier on life. So when you're taking it out of the pan, you want to make sure you get as much as you can. So if you have one of those pan scrapers, they're not expensive, they're like $2 at Walmart. It gets it all out. I have one somewhere, but it probably has to be washed, so let's do this. So I've gotten about all of it out. I'm going to wash this real quick and I'll be right back. And we're back. So this time you want to mix your pumpkin puree and all your dry essentials together. And I'm using just a basic spoon. You can use a fork if you want. Make sure you mix as much as the dry in there. And sometimes it will stick to the bottom. I'm not wearing my glasses. This does get messy from time to time. Normally I would wear a little cover for baking, but it's dirty and I gotta wash it. So the last thing I made, which was fudge. That was a that was a mission and a half. I might have to show you guys how to make it next time if you guys like this video. Hopefully you do. Like and comment, or subscribe so you can watch more items being baked. I do enjoy baking. It is pretty fun. I just don't want to do that as a career because it's always rush, get it done quick. So it's nice to just do it on occasion. Sure, get it all off on the bottom. Now you want to tilt the bowl just ever so slightly so you know you got all the dye off. Smells like pumpkin bread. Now you guys probably won't know what that smells like until you've baked it for a couple of years, but it smells pretty damn good. It might need a little more flour, but I think it's okay. So let's see. That's what it looks like with all the spices and everything in there. I'm gonna try it and see if it's missing anything. Hopefully it doesn't. So give me a moment to try this. Now I'm going to add a couple shakes of, come on, there we go, nutmeg, and a little more allspice, not too much, or at least for me anyways, because you don't want to overpower with nutmeg and allspice and cinnamon. It's perfect. Maybe just a bit more of salt. There we go, that's plenty. I didn't add a lot of it, I just and it came kind of sprinkled out. Now, with adding more spices to it, it may make it a little darker, which is perfectly fine. Kind of turns into that golden brown, which is what you want. The more golden, the more spices you have in it. So you gotta be careful of how much, spices you put in it. Make sure it's get in there good. Usually the second try, I like it. I just like trying it. So now we're gonna put it in all of our little tins and put it in the oven and bake it for about, what does it say? 50 to 60 minutes? What? No. I mean, I guess it depends on the size of pan. The small ones are probably gonna be about 15 minutes. The medium ones are probably gonna be about 25, maybe even 30. What you do is you take it out and you poke it in the center and see if there's still, the dough in the center. And if it's ready, take it out, let it cool, put it on a plate so it cools nicely, and then put it in a Ziploc and you're done. So I'll be right back. So now I have added pumpkin bread mix in all my minis. These are my minis. You roughly want to do about that much, maybe even a little less, because this bread does rise. There's probably going to be a couple of them that are going to be touching. Oh well, life's not perfect. These aren't going to be perfect. Let's just hope they don't burn and go to the baking gods. I'm going to add the rest of the puree into my big muffin tin. This mix probably makes about 2 dozen of the big, probably about 3 or 4 of the small. And the small ones are roughly about that big, but I like that big. And who wants a small one? Not very many people, but I like them because you just pop it in your mouth and they're good. Let me go put this in the oven. I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. Everything is in the oven. I put all my food back on. Take a look. Not rising yet, but it will. It's probably going to take a little while, so I might be pausing and playing throughout the whole, video to show you what it's going to look like when it's done. But for now, thank you for watching Baking with Panda. I hope you guys enjoy this video and you find it very learning and fun. If you do, smash that like button, subscribe, maybe write some suggestions. I'm willing to bake just about anything because I have just about everything here to make. things with. I have like the candy thermometer, I have all sorts of stuff. So if you guys have any ideas you want me to bake, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. I will bake them. If you have any music you want to listen to, I will play it for you guys. But for now, we'll be back and we'll check on those and see how they're doing. I found my white beast. Hi, Mommy. Say hi. Yeah, that's my baby. Okay, a little time has passed by. I happened to walk by the oven and see that they are raising. See? The bottom ones look pretty good. We may have to turn them around because one side is cooking faster than the other. So give me 1 second to do that. Now, when turning around your muffins, gotta always be safe. Gotta wear gloves because it's hot. Now, I turned it around completely and noticed it was cooking a little too quickly, so I had that one at the bottom shelf of my oven, so I brought it up so it can cook just a little slower, because if it cooks too quickly, it's gonna burn. You don't want that burning, because it's gonna taste absolutely awful, and all your work's gonna go down the drain. And we don't want that. The other ones haven't even raised yet, but they will. So let's take another look. I think it looks pretty good. It looks really, really good. I can't wait to have some. I probably won't have any until when they're done, or maybe even Monday, because I want to share it with my brother, Aiden. He's just a little guy. He's adorable. Yes? Black Beast. Black Beast! That's her nickname. Her actual real name is Momo. My cat that you saw earlier, the white one, her name is Noelle. She's my baby. She's that one. That's her. That is my baby. I've had her since she was a kitten. That was probably about 3rd or 4th grade. So she's about 13 or 14. The black one's about 20, maybe 21 in human years. I don't know how it goes for cat years, but they're both pretty old. We've had them for a good amount of time, and we love them. We also have a Shih Tzu. His name is Bruno. He's just chilling, sitting on the couch sleeping. Bruno. Let's go see Bruno. Say hi, Bruno. Hi, Bruno. That's my mama's dog. That's her best friend and her companion. Oh, buddy. We've had him since he was a pup. He's maybe the same age as the cat's, 11 or 12, maybe even 13, not too sure. Oh, scratch. Yes? My cat's over here wanting attention. And cookies all over the floor because of that one. So, everything seems to be baking pretty damn good. I can't wait to try them. I smell them baking right now, and it smells just